Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this reaction to the Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire episode number 2. I missed it this morning. I had some business stuff to do, and I figured I would take a look at it. Apparently, there was a bunch of new things shown, and I'm very excited for everything in regards to this game, so we're going to jump into it here in a second. For some ungodly reason, videos like this seem to do well on YouTube, and it would help the channel a lot if you could give this video a thumbs up and all those things. Leave a nice comment. That would go a long way. You don't have to, but like, it would make me smile. All right, let's jump into this thing. It became so bright. All right, here we go. Ooh, is this a new trailer?
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up to what it takes. City of dreams, city of...
Oh, nope, never mind. Guess that was it. I thought there was...
And welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at
Holly's amazing.
Red, where we talk
one
about
of the best people I've ever met in my life. Super nice.
2077.
I liked her more when she had red hair, but you know, not everyone's perfect.
And showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused are bringing the band Samurai to life.
Refused,
and then we're
man.
showing you
It's been
another
so long
new
since I've heard
video
Refused.
and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo?
Corpo.
Which will you pick first?
Corpo. 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 Yo, they went all out with the sort of like segues and intros and things. Nice. I'm digging it.
Well, who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out.
Dominic Toretto?
Nomad.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Hopping buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip.
Motherfucker!
Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger choopers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
This game just looks so cool at all times. At all times it looks so cool.
Childhood. Let's see. Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills.
Oh my god, is this Mad Max?
Oh, and
But like hillbilly Mad
in the
Max?
middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. And choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Interesting.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met. Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
Speaking of which... Boop, 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 boop.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
They all seem like assholes. I can't wait.
You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you're working Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
It's the rules, Jack. Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. It's a borough Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself.
Oh my god.
That's the only way.
I just want to betray everyone. What is the option where I can betray the most people? How can I be truly a bad cyberpunk? Just like a nasty, evil cyberpunk.
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the street kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on.
So all the different options and things when you deal with more street level characters are probably more open to you?
Later on in the game.
Sure, okay.
But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City,
Mad Max,
called the Badlands, actually value
I love
their
that.
family
That's so
above
neat.
anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind. And now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there. Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside a boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business,
and
which
just
give you
be
many nice
a
opportunities
piece
later
of
on.
shit. I'm looking forward to it.
Just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah, so the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang.
And I will.
And if you're a nomad,
betray
you know
everyone.
exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher-up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
I don't need them to like me.
Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions
They're
for
all
you
dead.
based on the video we
Dead.
did. And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the
Look at this
Badlands.
game!
Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick
I'm ready
Nomad
for
to
this.
start with?
Oh my god.
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands. And you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. The thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past. There's global warming. So most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character, Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, V, cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers who is called...
You're not using too much, are you, hon?
Charmin Ultra Soft is so soft, you'll have to remind your family they can
crazy.
use less.
He's a
Ultra Soft
Charmin
is
bear?
twice as absorbent, so you can use less.
You know what?
Enjoy the
Those
go with
Cyberpunk devs.
Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part.
Those Cyberpunk devs, they are
specifically
so
Padre,
creative.
You might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now, on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet.
Corpo, no
Don't
thoughts,
forget that
zero
later
thoughts.
In this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's talk about music, because music plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life. Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refused to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band, Samurai, to life.
I wouldn't write these lyrics.
I'm ready for this.
myself. So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is.
It
this
says
character
a
and
like
what was
supreme.
their agenda.
Sorry for covering
What's
that.
their agenda? It's interesting to try to like catch a language that's his and try to catch a language that's like part of this game. There is a reason why we're here.
It's just too loud. You're just too loud.
It was Piotr maybe who
Cobra
was a fan
Studios,
of the
Stockholm,
band.
Sweden.
You refused, and
I
he
can
knew
just
my
move
voice, and he said,
myself
"Oh, that's a perfect
over to here,
voice
huh?
For Johnny."
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal rat on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him up?
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this
Amazing.
outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's.
Oh my
definitely
God,
something
do
that's
we
been
play
part
as
of my
him?
life and a part of Refused life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us. You know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here
Ready
making
for
these
it.
songs about him or for him. You know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
And then, I mean, just sort of build,
yeah,
slowly build sort of intensity.
We don't have a different mode than just going all in. So we really worked on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as Samurai.
Sure,
and I'm
that's
here
neat.
with Johnny Silverhand, you know, so it's like the voice we're representing here is someone else.
We'll never fade away!
It's been a mind fuck.
This is a studio in the middle of nowhere. Sweden, you out of control. I love it. I love this. There's the MVP. Oh, he's up now.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
The shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
Swallowing some syllables there.
adjust your accent.
Oh yeah, just try it again.
So it's been a bit frustrating.
Oh my god.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that this character that's a character of the game also is me, like when I'm singing it. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things, because I'm not used to, usually people just like give me a thumbs up and then like, you know, you think the things like the rhythm and you think about the pitch and you think about all these things, but then someone comes in and like, that word sounded weird. I'm like, what? No, that's how I sing. But so it's been a very, yeah, pretty painful at times.
It is soon, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in. Mayhem flows.
It's
So
a very interesting
angry.
thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, you know, like samurai would sound, you know. So it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
I want to go to a rock concert in 2021.
You can
Concert?
already find 3
Speaking of
Samurai
pronunciation,
tracks available on streaming
I want to go to a
services.
rock concert in
Chicken In,
2021
Never Fade
starring
Away,
Keanu
and
Reeves
The Ballad
as
of
Samurai.
Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce
But then
a
just
4th new song
refuses there
called
for some
Unlike
reason.
Supreme,
You know, because they
which
did
is
all the
coming
work.
to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I
Just
are going
watch
to
this
introduce
instead.
you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
Exciting. Excited by the possibilities. From what I played, there's a lot of fun ways to murder. Or, you know, not. But there's a lot of fun ways to murder.
Hey V, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal.
I'm moving again. Moving here.
It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires as planned with them. You better gear up for this.
Woo! Did he just snipe the Joker? Rewind that. What's that? Not in the bar. These open carry laws are out of control. I love them. Oh my god. Basically a vibro knife almost. Oh my god, I love it. Cox arms! Oh my god!
So, V, are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
I keep thinking, what if I played Lady V? Lady V sounds like...
Pavel, thank
I don't know
you
what
so much for joining
I don't know
me.
what it
Now, there was
sounds
an
like.
awful lot in that video.
What if
right?
I
'Cause it's
played
more
as
than
like
just guns.
Fem V?
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive
But like with
cyberware,
Jack's arms, like
armor.
big buff
we
arms.
Could talk for
That'd be
hours
great.
and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
Yeah,
So we have
yeah,
three
do
distinct
that.
types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall.
Damn.
Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right?
Lee.
It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want.
All right, I'll do it.
Them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications. What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
So we have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can
That's
give
what I
you
played in the demo.
accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one. But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also
killed the
like
Joker!
a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now, that thing is cast from pure steel, and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game this November. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pretty good. I like seeing new stuff.
If you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channel shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Awesome. Very excited. Yeah. I think, there's nothing else to say except for don't try to kill my character. I have no loot. Not worth it. Nothing. You can't even kill me. Don't even try. I got nothing for you. No loot whatsoever.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze. We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze. Out of time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
Yeah, now sing the music.
Bring the strippers and booze. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. You got